Hello NFL fan and savvy sports bettor. I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics at a Canadian university. And my goal is to help you beat your bookies. As promised last week, here's an update about my performance at BetOnline's mega contest. Unfortunately, I did not win the $4,000 quarterly prize awarded to the top contestant through 4 weeks. I dropped from 2nd to 24th place out of close to 2,700 participants after a disappointing 2-3 record last week. But I'm still in good shape for season prizes, which are given to the top 100 contestants. So let's now move on to my top 3 picks in week number 5 in the NFL. My top pick this week is rated 4 stars. It goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 7 points hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The better a team is, the more they benefit from additional rest. That's not theory, but something that was verified through statistical analyses. It also makes sense from a logical standpoint, as these teams tend to make better use of the extra time for game planning. Now that being said, the Steelers are in great position here. Not only are they coming off a bye week, but they will be at home for the 4th straight week. Indeed, they hosted the Broncos and Texans in weeks 2 and 3 before resting last week. Over a 4-year period, home favorites coming off a bye week have posted a 26-20-2 record against the spread. Pittsburgh has very few injured players too. Other than right tackle Zach Banner and backup offensive lineman Stephen Wisniewski, there's no notable players who are banged up. Although Juju Smith-Schuster and cornerback Joe Hayden just popped on the injury list today, but they seem to have a fair chance of suiting up this Sunday. Philly, on the other hand, is dealing with lots of injuries. Now I won't list them all, but the situation on the offensive line is particularly worrisome. And that's very bad news when facing a ferocious defense like Pittsburgh. Jason Peters and Isaac Sumalo are officially out for this game, while Lane Johnson is questionable. So, I'm taking the Steelers to handle their state rival by more than a touchdown. My second pick is rated 3 stars, and it goes to the Arizona Cardinals minus 7 points at the New York Jets. When will the Jets finally fire Adam Gase? It seems super obvious that he needs to go. He is a horrible head coach. I believe Sam Darnold has talent, but he's been regressing under Adam Gase, who was supposed to be an offensive mastermind. Now, I could see Darnold flourishing once Gase is gone, or if Darnold goes to another team eventually. Now, the Jets are not playing like a team at all. They are blowing assignments and they are taking way too many penalties. They are not disciplined and repeatedly make dumb things on the field. And again, it all starts with the head coach to fix those issues. Now, as long as Gase is the leader, fading the Jets, which means betting against them, sounds like a good plan. Now, both of the Jets' tackles are uncertain to play this weekend, George Fant and Mekhi Becton. Even their backup, Shuma Edoga, is banged up, so it does not bode well for the Jets. Joe Flacco will be under center for New York, following Darnold's shoulder injury. Over the past 5 seasons, Joe Flacco has thrown 70 TD passes versus 51 interceptions. That's not a good ratio at all. He's 35 years old and unlikely to be the savior. Now, Arizona is coming off 2 consecutive losses to ordinary teams after beating the 49ers and the Redskins. I do believe they will rebound. They simply cannot afford to lose this game, and they won't take it lightly for sure. Now, the rest factor is not favoring the Cards though. They will be playing an early game on the East Coast, but such teams have been beating the spread at a higher rate over the recent years. The Jets benefit from 3 additional days of rest after playing last Thursday. However, bad teams don't benefit as much from extra rest compared to elite ones. So I'm banking on Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins to hammer the Jets, which might finally put an end to Adam Gase's tenure as the Jets head coach. By the way, if you've been following me for a few months, you've certainly noticed my golden retriever named Player. He was featured in many of my videos in the background, or I even told you about him when it was his 9th birthday last October. Now, unfortunately, and I'm still very sad about it, he died last May 11. That was a very tough loss for me, my girlfriend, and my 2 young kids. Now we've decided to get another golden retriever, and we got a first picture of him recently. His name will be Cooper, and hopefully he'll be just as great as Player was. My final and third pick this week is rated 1 star. It goes to the New York Giants plus 9.5 points at Dallas. I can't say I'm overly confident about this play, but there are so many betting angles pointing in the Giants' direction that I simply cannot ignore them. First, the bad news. New York's offense has been anemic this season. They have not scored more than 16 points in any game, while averaging less than 12 points per match. That's awful. The Giants will also be playing a third road game out of their past 4 meetings, including a long trip to Los Angeles last week. Now, the good news. Here are 2 betting strategies I've been following recently who both support taking the Giants this week. Number 1. Bet a bad team facing a divisional opponent on the road when coming off a loss by more than 7 points. This strategy led to a 60-40 against the spread record. Strategy 2. Bet a bad team who is established as a road underdog by more than 7 points if they are coming off at least 4 straight games in which they were underdogs. This one led to a 63-46 record against the spread. I also like the revenge factor here. Last year, the Cowboys handled the Giants easily in both matchups, 35-17 in Dallas and 37-18 in New York. You've also probably heard of the rash of injuries in Dallas. Now, I especially like to focus on offensive line injuries, since they play a key role and they are undervalued by the general public. Center Joe Looney is out, as well as right tackle Cam Irving. And also the status of Tyron Smith is still up in the air. Now, some might argue the Cowboys will be super motivated after such an embarrassing loss to the Browns. That's fair enough, and to be honest, that's one of my main concerns when picking the Giants here. But the counter-argument would be that Dallas is playing on their heels and they don't have much confidence right now. Now, personally, I'm tempted to buy half a point and grab the Giants at plus 10 points. That would make me feel more comfortable with this pick. I've been sending selected player proposition bets on Fridays to those of you subscribing to my mailing list. All 3 picks sent last week were losers, which was a shocker considering we had gone 10-2 thus far in the year. So overall, our record stands at 10-5, which is great. Now, do you want to get those plays directly in your mailbox each Friday? Well, simply follow the link in the comment section below to sign up to this exclusive mailing list. A big thank you for watching. I'm Professor MJ. I'll talk to you again very soon.